these messages, and she gave me some phone numbers and stuff and names, and one of them was the local newspaper, another was a radio station, another was a television station. We were supposed to phone all these people in the morning, and I looked at Sam, and I don't know what kind of feeling, it was just finally, you know, finally somebody's heard what we're doing, this, you know, this crazy thing that I thought we were doing. Finally somebody heard, and they seen the expression on our face, because we were both so happy, like we were almost jumping up and down when we heard this. And you know, I was saying, you know, I don't know how to thank you guys, how to, you know, for giving us this food and this bed and these messages, and you know, it almost feels like a miracle that this is happening. And she looked at me and she said, well, don't you guys know where you are? And I said, yeah, we're in Memora. She goes, yes, you're in Memora, but don't you know what happened here? I go, no. And she said, this is where the 5 sightings of the Virgin Mary were made. And then she gave us newspaper clippings and all kinds of other stuff about these events that happened. And this was just another one of those like things that have happened that just all made sense of why we were doing what we were doing and why we should have continued doing it. And it just, once again, my spirit was so uplifted at that time that I really knew why I was doing it. You know, like you know, we both thought that something that wasn't going or wasn't made for any reason, we've suddenly seen all the reason for it. Because what happened right at that time was the Canadian Liver Foundation headquarters also found out what we were doing. Because at this time we were only dealing with the Wellington chapter. The headquarters found out, and one of the representatives from the Eastern Regional Directors of the Canadian Liver Foundation, Karen Morrison, came to greet us the next day and told us of the great thing that we were doing, and she was very, very instrumental in the next 6 days in really making it a very successful walk. She arranged all the different television broadcasting services to put this on air. A lot of newspaper reporters as we were going through the towns, radio stations. We also were received by 4 mayors along the way. A mayor in Perth, a mayor in Tweed, I think it was, another mayor in Canada, and I forget where the 4th one was. And in Canada, what they did was, when we approached Canada, they interrupted a council meeting that was going on to introduce us, which was fantastic. And then on our last day of our walk, it was arranged for us to have an RCMP escort. We had 20 kilometers left from the hotel that we were at to walk to reach the burning flame. And the RCMP escorted us along the way there to the burning flame. So all in all, this walk went way beyond you know, what I thought it would turn out to be. And it was at that time that we were discussing about future endeavors with myself. And this is when we talked about the possibility about me walking across the country.
How did it feel on your last day arriving in Ottawa?
It felt like astronauts coming from the moon or something. You know, it almost felt like a ticker tape parade or something. You know, I really felt a great proudness to be Canadian, and I felt very. I just established such a strong bond with the Canadian Liver Foundation. And it really just made me feel that, you know, my work wasn't done yet. You know, there was still something more that had to be done.
Why do you think, what do you attribute the success to? The success that you never thought would be possible in this realm?
Well, I think a lot of people that, you know, a lot of people are very caring. There's this notion that when you come from a big city that most people are cold and uncaring, and you know that nobody really cares about anybody. But I attribute a lot of this success to the people that really do care, and there is a lot of people. We found that out along the way. Also, I contribute a lot of it to the Canadian Liver Foundation, which believed in what I was doing, what we were doing, and were making all the efforts that they could at that time to make it as successful as they could.
Tell me about your plans about walking across Canada.
Well, basically, we're going to be starting off in Vancouver, and we will be, tentatively, we have our date set in May of '99, but we could change that to April. And we'll be walking along any other highway other than the Queen's Highway, of course.
Why do you want to do this?
First of all, I do want to let as many people across the country know about liver diseases. How many people it has inflicted, the suffering that goes behind it, the myths that surround it, let people know the facts about it. Also, there's a vaccine for one of the viruses that cause the disease, which is hepatitis B, that was discovered here in our country, in Canada, in Calgary as a matter of fact, that is available, but astonishingly enough, there's still been an increase in people contacting the hepatitis B virus. And that's a shame, because there is a vaccine out there. That would be another objective, is to either rattle a few political toes or, you know, find out some kind of better method to make sure people are getting this vaccine.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
I just remember when we talked last week, or the week before, you